Hello everyone. My name is Kamna Jain and I work with NASSCOM Sector Skills Council. NASSCOM represents the $315 billion technology industry, and our focus is to make India the hub of innovation and IT services. We have almost 3,800 plus member companies, from startups to multinationals, from GCCs to engineering firms, products to services. Our network spans the entire spectrum of the industry. We are finding that AI is reshaping the way technology talent learns, builds, solves problems, and collaborates. And organizations are now looking for a new cohort of talent for whom AI is the default part of how they work. In South Asia, between the last couple of years, the proportion of AI related job postings has almost doubled from 3% to 7%. And demand for AI skills that has grown exponentially 75% 75% times faster than non-AI roles. So it's a velocity of change that is unheard of, and that is our topic for today, that how to get ready for an AI first future. And today we are delighted to have an expert panel to share their insights on what it means to be truly AI native and how organizations are rethinking talent development as AI transforms many experiences and roles which traditionally required technical expertise. A very warm welcome to our panelist, Mr. Manish Malik, Executive Director, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at Indian Oil. Manish has 3 decades of experience in aligning technology with business goals, designing and developing business solutions on multiple software platforms, and adopting latest technology and taking new initiatives to fulfill business needs and optimize the existing processes. Welcome, Mr. Manish. It's great to have you with us today. We also have with us Ms. Tamsa Mohanty. She is HR Business Partner, Global Operations and CMD's office at Cognizant. Tamsa has over 2 decades of experience in spearheading impactful and transformative initiatives within the HR domain. She has excelled in various facets of HR, including business partnering, consulting, talent acquisition, organizational design, well-being, and policies. Welcome, Tamsa.
Thank you, Kamna. Thank you for having me.
And we also have with us Nirmala Balakrishnan. Nirmala has been part of NASSCOM research for over 20 years now. In her current role, she leads research related to talent and skilling and workforce development, and works on strengthening internal data capabilities and analytics to enable robust tracking and market benchmarking. Welcome, Nirmala.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamna.
NASSCOM recently published a study which was intended to decode the AI readiness of India's early career technology workforce. My first question is to you, Nirmala, that why was this report needed? Why was an AI native talent index needed in today's times?
Thank you. Thank you, Kamna. So basically, we all know that AI has, fundamentally changed how technology talent learns, works, collaborates, and solves problems. So the traditional measures, such as certifications, tool adoption, do not adequately assess true AI capability of the current workforce or the future talent. Now, this index that was developed to provide actually a structured benchmark for measuring this AI readiness of people, which includes your behavior, capability across multiple dimensions. This is our inaugural edition, and it focuses on India's early career technology workforce, which means that it includes students, last year engineering students who are in the computer science and related area, and the talent workforce who are currently who have work experience of up to 3 years. This is the cohort that we actually started with to understand their AI native capability. Now, this framework actually goes beyond just tool adoption surveys and certifications, and it assesses across 11 dimensions. Now, some of the 11 dimensions include your prompting fluency, AI orchestration, judgment and decision making, cognitive independence, responsible AI, technical foundations. All these dimensions are combined into a composite score that reflects how effectively individuals work with AI while maintaining their independent thinking and technical expertise. Now, why this index?
Nirmala, if you have a slide which you want to share on what are the different metrics
Yeah,
that you have studied, that would be nice.
yeah.
And also, I would like to just tell the audience that whatever questions you have, kindly put it in the chat so that we can take up your questions. I see that there is a question by Mr. Kamal. Please put it in the chat and we'll get to it.
I'll just share. Just let me know if it is visible.
It's coming up. You can go full screen.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Right? Is it visible now?
Yes, just go full screen.
It's full screen.
Yeah.
So, this is the basically just what I spoke about, the first benchmark and what are the different archetypes. We broke it down into different four archetypes: the AI native, AI proficient, AI enabled, and AI ready. So these are some of the archetypes that we wanted to assess and see currently the cohort that I spoke about, where do they reside? And what we found in these findings is that, actually more than 90% of India's early career talent currently is classified as either AI native or AI proficient, but the larger chunk is AI proficient. Now, one of why this index was necessary also is that we all know that India ranks first globally in AI skill penetration, but however, skill penetration does not indicate proficiency. So also AI is accelerating productivity and learning, but may not automatically deepen technical expertise. Organizations also are strengthening their capabilities, but where is it that they need to concentrate on? So
So
what we found is that without a rigorous benchmark, India risks scaling a workforce that is AI reliant but not AI native. And that is why this talent index, we believe, will help provide a rigorous benchmark to measure AI native capability, talent strategies, and guide future workforce development. I'll just share these are the dimensions that I spoke about, which is the framework that we created and assessed the cohort on. And this is the actually the link from which you can download the report. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Nirmala. And I'm very happy that we have very two organizations represented by Tamsa and Manish ji respectively to share how organizations are actually thinking about it. So my next question is to you, Tamsa. What is Cognizant doing for its own people to get ready for this AI shift, which Nirmala just spoke about?
Sure. Thank you again, Kamna, for this opportunity to talk to the students and the academia. I would like to actually start with one word, because, at least what I'm going to speak in the next couple of minutes will revolve around this particular word, and it is a word that we use every day in Cognizant. It's builder. Okay. The word is builder. Now, every company today says that it's doing AI, okay? It's in the field of AI. However, we as an organization, we've made a deliberate choice about 18 months ago, when people were just thinking of getting into AI. We made decisions 18 months back, and it's primarily, being a technology services company, we started calling ourselves AI builder back then, and not just an AI user, not an AI reseller. And by builder, I mean that we're not just AI fluent people. We have AI ready talent, and also AI systems that that kind of deliver value for our clients. Now, I definitely believe in the fact that we cannot sell AI transformation to our clients, cannot build that value for our clients unless we have lived it ourselves. Okay. And going by, walking the talk, I would give you, give our students a few examples, our listeners a few examples on how we've had early adoption of AI technology in particular. Now we have multiple in-house agents, who do a series of mundane, boring, frustrating tasks. Okay, that an employee has to go through daily in a large, large setup like ours, large scale setup like ours. For example, finding the HR policy, raising a ticket for a laptop concern, locating the right form to for travel, all of that. So we built an AI agent which is called the which is called One Cognizant. It's not just a chat bot. It's basically a master agent, which kind of, what happens is one agent will route your queries to multiple specialist agents. Now, with doing this small build, this app has created huge impact. Over 70% of our 350K associates across 50 countries actively use this app. Now, it has cut a lot of internal support in terms of tickets. The tickets have gone down by 50%. It's handled over 10 million agent interactions, and overall, 90 plus percentage positive feedback is what we've received from our employees. um, it's not just a pilot, and it's been there for over 2 years now. Second, another example that I give is, we've been training, the typical way of training associates, employees in an organization is primarily classroom training, right? Either virtual. So it doesn't work anymore. The tools are changing every year now. Every few months the tools are changing. So recently we built, a tool called Skill Spring. You can also read about it on the internet, on LinkedIn. It's primarily an AI native learning platform, and what fascinates our employees internally is that it's actually also kind of, it's paired with another tool called AI Fluency Dashboard. Okay. What you learn is tagged to your Fluency dashboard, and every employee gets a real time personal view of, it's like a fitness tracker. It's like I will get to see where am I in terms of AI usage, where am I in terms of my learning progress, and how am I scoring, and all of the, this is all gamification, and you can actually check your scores every day on a real basis. So that's really fascinating. um, Other example that I want to give is, we just didn't stop at training decks, etc. We have also, we have actual frontier AI tools which are used daily. Okay. The Fluency dashboard that I spoke about, it actually assesses how much have I, how much usage, how much consumption have I had in terms of using Claude, using Microsoft 365. Okay. Like, an engineer will probably use a GitHub Copilot. And this is accessible to, our thousands of employees overall. And right now we have, again, this is an industry record. We recently published it. 30,000 of our associates are Claude certified right now. So yeah, so these are some of the examples, and the other fascinating and new tool, tracking tool that we have is also something called AI fluency token metering. That's again a common word, as all of you know. And all of these initiatives, all of these programs in the organization, it indicates towards, I'm not just using AI. It's because it sounds very vague, but everything that we are doing, it's actually translating to a measurable skill overall.
Thank you, Tamsa. You spoke about a lot of initiatives which AI initiatives that are being built, that have been built at Cognizant and are being used, whether it's a one Cognizant AI agent or whether it's a skill spring or an AI fluency dashboard. I will, I have a follow-up question for you that, what is your, already you're using so much AI, what is it that you expect from the next generation? But I'll come back to you before, because I'll go to Mr. Manish Malik first. And as Tamsa said, that there are a lot of AI building that is being done at Cognizant. Mm, our greatest advantage in AI era will not just be, this building, but it will be AI native talent, a talent that can build AI. So my question to you, Mr. Manish, is what are your thoughts on AI native talent and the roadmap that you suggest to build AI native talent for India?
Okay, thank you. Kamna, I think it's a very relevant question in today's era of AI, right? And the topic which you selected, that it is not advantage of AI is not limited to compute models or the algorithms, but it is our ability to build and deploy the AI native talent, okay, at scale, right? I think for India, because now I'll be talking from the perspective of the country, right? So the challenge before India is not merely to create the AI engineers. We have to build the AI native talent across every profession, every industry. Okay. And what I think, the future belongs to the people, because not many students are there. The future belongs to the people who have got the right domain expertise, plus the AI capability, plus they have got the human judgment to see whether the use case is ethical or not, and plus the continuous learning. Okay, if you adopt this, I think you are going to be succeeded in the era of AI, right? Now, we always speak of AI native talent. What exactly is the AI native talent? Okay, it's not an individual who understands the artificial intelligence, but it is the way how you integrate AI into your day-to-day work. Okay, you can solve your problems and make the decisions, right? So for the students, I should say that an AI professional is who can understand the domain deeply, okay, who thinks with AI and uses AI to augment the capabilities. Okay, he always apply AI to solve the real world problems, and he should be flexible enough, proficient enough to collaborate with the AI tools. Okay, and of course, continuous learning is a must for any AI professional. Now, when I speak of this AI native, one my piece of advice to everyone: the future is of the agentic AI. Okay, and we have to create the agents. Not many use cases are there, but whether to use the use case, how to make the change management very seamless thing across the industry, I think agents have to come in. I will give you a very simple example, not from the industry, in our day-to-day life. Suppose I want to travel from Delhi to Bombay. Okay, so what I'm expecting out of my agent, he should know, because I'm traveling, what date. He should be able to find the cheapest flight. He should be able to get my conveyance, my cab. The agent should be able to get the hotel booked at a very cheapest rate near to my office. And why should I tell him? I will just give one simple instruction: I want to go on this date, and he should do each and everything, and it should give me the final result. This is the way the agent should work. And now you can conceive of these agents in your everyday life, in your industry, whatever applications you are working, in your official domains, everything you can conceive. Now, if I give you one example from the industry, predictive maintenance, it's a very core subject in any industry, across all the industries. So what I'm doing, I am using the machine learning to predict how much life is left, okay, in that particular tool or the equipment. And if I know, yes, there is a life of say 1 month or 2 months, so automatically I should be able to, the agent, it should be able to find out whether the new parts are in the inventory. If they are in the inventory, then it should be able to purchase order, to place the purchase order, okay, and then ensure that the concerned parts are available. So such type of agents should be of very much use, and they should be well appreciated by the industry people. Now, your question was how to develop this AI native talent framework for the nation. I think there could be multiple ways and the channels, because the students are there. Again, I will say we have to build the AI awareness at a very, very early stage, right? So that the schools and university, they should incorporate the artificial intelligence as part of their curriculum. And we should keep focus on the AI fundamentals. We should develop the critical thinking among the students, problem solving using AI, and the most important thing is the human AI collaboration, right? Then, if I speak of the universities, so we have to develop the AI native universities. Okay, AI should not be treated as a standalone discipline, right? It should be embedded across your curriculum, whether it is the engineering, whether it is your humanities, whether it is law or the management. Then the universities, they have to set up the AI innovation labs, right? So that through the partnership with the industry, they should get the good use cases, industry specific problems, and they should not limit themselves to the theoretical explanations. I think that should be very important for the students to find out the use cases, and it becomes the responsibility of the universities to tie up with the industry and get the right use cases. Then if I speak of the enterprise, I think we have to set up the AI center of excellence, okay, so that we can develop on the AI capability development, domain experts, along with the AI learning. We should also introduce AI governance, responsible AI, and all those things. We should also think of the AI native internships and the apprenticeship, okay, so that we can give the right exposure to the working employees in our enterprise. So in this way, we should be able to develop the AI talent development, okay, and we should always think of developing some kind of AI champions in the enterprise, in the organizations, who will act like a torchbearer, okay, and who will be responsible for explaining AI to the next layer of generation. So these are some of my thoughts which I thought that I should share with the audience, so that how should this AI framework can be set up across the nation.
Thank you so much. That's a very, very comprehensive roadmap that you shared, Maniji. I'm in terms of having an agentic AI, in terms of having predictive maintenance, in terms of collaborating with academia so that academia can take up the real life problems of industry and get some and provide some solutions. I know that you believe in what you see and you work on it because you recently did a workshop for your employees to equip them to be able to build something. But we'll come back to that. I'll now go to Nirmala because Nirmala, now you've heard both the industry people speak. You've heard how Cognizant is already building AI products which are in use for their own employees, and how Mr. Malik has laid out the roadmap for building an AI native talent in India. So, my question to you is, you have recently come up with this index. How can organizations use your index to make their reskilling, their hiring decisions, and what actionable steps you recommend to universities and collaboration to collaborate with government bodies and in industry so that that index really finds its use and helps to make the AI native talent happen for India.
Yeah. So, both Maniji and Tamasa has talked a lot about how they have built a skilling. So one of the key things, elements that we studied during the in the report is how the characteristics of an AI native talent varies. Is it a different characteristic? Because once you know their behavior, it becomes easier to work on the skills. Uh, some of the things that we found in terms of AI native professionals is that they tend to use AI as a default collaborator while also retaining their human judgment. This is one key differentiator that we found. They learn faster through AI assisted skill acquisition. As a practice, whatever they build, they verify their AI outputs rather than just trusting them blindly. Some of them even combine, actually, many of them combine multiple tools. It's not just that they focus on one, they combine multiple tools, models, and workflows effectively. And the key thing is that they use AI alongside their traditional knowledge sources and peer networks, mentors. So these were first, we tried to identify these characteristics, and based on that, some of the priorities that we recommended for organizations, which most of them Tamasa already spoke about, is that while hiring, you try to move from just testing coding knowledge to assessing AI native capabilities, which we already have created in that framework. Your productivity models or your operating models that you have, how do you redesign that? Because your now expectations is in an AI augmented environment. You cannot separate out that completely, right? So it is an augmented environment. When you look at capability building, how do you use AI assisted internships, mentorships, judgments? So AI ties up into each and every area of your capability building. Most important is governance. How do you establish robust AI policies, governance frameworks, ethical AI? This is very, very important for an organization when creating their overall AI strategy in place. And then, of course, this team structure. So, if you're looking at it from a technology angle, then rethinking your engineering teams and workflows, which actually fits into an AI native world. Now, if you look at academia, some of the things that actually says that is, you have to shift, the teachers have to shift from just teaching coding, but also developing engineering judgment, which Manish ji spoke. Judgment is very important in academia, and students need to be strong in that. Your curricula needs to be around AI enabled engineering. Domain is becoming very important for the industry, and how do you strengthen that domain oriented learning? That becomes very, very important, and that needs to be done from the academia itself. And one key, what our index showed, is that the foundational capability, which is your core, that needs to be very strong. So how do you preserve that becomes very important for the institutes and the universities to work on, because after that, problem solving, these are the core things that students should be able to work on. And your assessment methods becomes very important. Redesign it to include an AI coming into picture. Industry, of course, it is similar, mapping it up to both the organization and the academia. You need to have increase the mentorship becomes very important, so that the pool which is coming into the workforce is focused on judgment, not just execution. And key part is that how do you measure this early talent? You have to measure it differently, and that is why this framework becomes very useful also to help in the upskilling of this workforce. Redesigning the current programs is very, very important in the in this AI era if we need to stay relevant. So these were some of the things that specifically, Kamna, I thought would be important to state.
Sure. Thanks for that, Nirmala. I think we can all agree that those are the basic study has been done, and now it's up to us how to best utilize it to make sure that we are building an AI first future. I'll just request everyone. We have almost 100 plus students on the call, and some of you are raising your hand, but I am requesting you to please put your questions in the chat so that our panelists can answer your questions. That is one. And Tamsa, we have a lot of students here. So my question to you is, what is your expectation from the next generation of talent, some of whom are listening very closely, from the moment they apply to Cognizant? To the moment they start working in Cognizant, what is your expectation from the young people who want to join the workforce and especially Cognizant?
Yeah, so this is a very relevant question for everyone on the call, and I wanted to probably start with the interview process and expectations, and then maybe take you to a day in in the life of an engineer in Cognizant. So what we are looking for during hiring right now, it's the old filter and the old ways of interviewing were, can you write a clean code, um, do you know a specific language or a framework? That still matters, but it's no longer the differentiator. Like I might have 10 people in the room who can do that, but the new filter is very close now and very relevant to the context of AI. Something that even our CEO has been speaking on and off, and something that most of us in the call would have heard is context engineering. Okay. For everybody, for the students here, let me just probably put it in very simple words that, um, any AI model is capable, it's extremely capable, but they don't automatically know what matters in your specific domain. Like, what our previous panelists were saying, right? The domain knowledge is extremely important, okay, and it has to be in your specific, it has to be a specific business problem, and someone must be able to assemble the full context of the problem, the rules, the exceptions, the overall judgment, etc., and that's called context engineering. And whoever is able to do that is the most valuable person in the room, okay. So when we hire, we're looking at people who can think in workflows and outcomes, and not just like execution only, not just the syntax of a code probably. This person should be able to collaborate effectively with an AI agent who might just be your teammate. The setups that we are working now, it's not just that humans that you're working with, right? You have to be able to efficiently collaborate with an AI agent. um, Bring your own judgment. That's where your context matters. Bring your own judgment. You should know when to trust AI output. You should know when where is AI going wrong, and and know when to override. So you still are the most important person in the room. AI is just an enabler. So that's something that you should always know. um, when you are in Cognizant, so this is before Cognizant, before you join Cognizant, but when you are in Cognizant, what changes, or in Cognizant or one of its peer organizations or one of its competitors, what will change is from day one, you will not be handed a static and a standard induction manual. Okay. Right now, you have to figure it out. And you are definitely handed access to skill spring that I was talking about from day one, and your AI access to your AI fluency dashboard. That expectation is continuous. As I was telling you, I, yeah, I think I missed telling you that this also kind of is tagged to your annual review cycles, your performance cycles. Okay. um, so it's continuous self-directed upskilling. Nobody is pushing you to work on those, but it's a part of your everyday life. Okay. You will also be seeing how new projects are run, how we increasingly kind of staff projects with blended teams. As I was telling you, human engineers plus AI agents. We already have a couple of platforms, where we are working alongside agents. Um, so my message on this segment to you is, the skill will matter most in your career. Uh, isn't knowing how to prompt an AI, which most of us do right now, but it's knowing your domain well enough, and be able to ask and do enough through an AI, and what to ask it, how to check that. That's where we are investing in you, and most of the organizations are investing in. So we are hiring for adaptability and not just a fixed skill mindset.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Tamsa. I'm sure that all the young people who are listening to the conversation need to gear up and work on these things so that they are ready for this AI first future. Very good tips that you have shared. I'll now like to talk to Mr. Manish, and you recently carried out an AI ML workshop for your middle level management. That's not even your employees who have just joined. Those are people who have been there 10, 15 years, and you did a AI ML workshop for them. So my question to you is, which we only organize. So my question to you is, what was the primary objective of this workshop, and how would you define the success metric? How would you define that?
Okay. See, Kamna, when working in a commercial organization, I think our success criteria is not how many numbers of AI models I have built. Actually, it should be how many people we can empower to think, to work, to innovate, and create with artificial intelligence, right? You know, the LLMs of today, they are getting intelligent and intelligent. Yesterday only, I just gave some data from some public domain, okay, to a LLM, okay, and I asked a very simple question. I told the LLM to give me some good insights out of this data. That's all. And I was very surprised to see it gave me 15 good insights. It was, I can tell you, I cannot name the organization, but it was just sales data, okay, of different companies in a given vertical, and it gives a lot of good insights, like what was the pre-COVID, post-COVID, okay, and did a lot of comparisons and also predicted some kind of things which are going to happen in the future. So what I want to say, the strength of LLMs is too much. It is just a thing for us to explore it and put it into our day-to-day life in our commercial organizations, in our official activities. Now, as far as this your question of that workshop, I think on the similar lines, we carried out that workshop for the middle management of our organization. Okay, and it was a combination of chemical engineers and the IT folks because we come from the refinery domain, right? And it was just to build the practical capabilities in the AI ML, in your generative AI, developing your SLMs and the RAG features. Okay, so our primarily objective was to build the foundational AI capabilities. Okay, on AI ML, deep learning, and the Gen AI. Okay, we also wanted to develop the practical technical skills in Python in the Jupyter notebook. Okay, and we also want the people to identify the high value use cases. Okay, just to develop on their cognitive skills, right? And hands-on capabilities to build the AI solutions. And I'm very happy because when we did this workshop, I think it was some 8 or 10 days workshop, we got very good results. And we also put a very good success criteria. It was not how many marks you have scored. We gave them some use cases to develop some SLMs, okay, and showcase to us. And we also appointed one committee of your organization, of my organization, and then they evaluated all the use case. And I'm very happy. Few use cases came out brilliant, okay, and they applied the SLMs and the RAG features in a combined manner to come out with some good knowledge-based systems, okay, so that you give any question and it will come out with a answer with good accuracy. So such type of good use cases came, and the business impact was very good because at least now we can appreciate the employees of the organization. They have got the improved access to the operational knowledge, and they can think of the use cases which can result in the enhancement of the operational efficiency, taking the decisions, right decisions, and of course they can automate some of the things, maybe using agentic, maybe using the RAG features, or by creating some sort of SLMs. So I'm very happy, but again, I am looking forward to few more courses from your organizations on the agentic side, so that the people should learn how to create the agents, because that is the ultimate thing which is going to happen for the industry. And I think the industry is full of such use cases, right? So that was it. So again, my best wishes to all the people who have joined and the students especially. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manishi, for that. I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you, but before that, I'll just take some questions which students have put in the chat, and any one of you would like to answer, please go ahead. This is a question from Krishna Upadhyay. She is a working professional and has experience of 15 years. However, not explored AI till now. Uh, so she wants to know how to plan the roadmap and which tool to use. Prompt engineering, Gen AI. They have not explored AI till now, in spite of having 15 years of experience. So anybody would like to answer this? Yeah, you have. Krishna, you've already answered that, Tamsa, right?
Yes,
Right.
I have already answered. I actually suggested him to go for context engineering.
Right.
So,
I'll
yeah.
take the next question, which is from Divya Sharma. She is from a commerce background, does not have coding or programming knowledge. Have you answered this also? No. I'm currently working as an accountant in a government aided college, and I want to understand how I can use AI models and AI tools in my day to day accounting work. Please guide me how I can improve.
So there are multiple courses on Coursera, Udemy as well. Okay, that could also help her in accounting. Apart from that, I actually replied to her also that prompt engineering is something that she can pick up. Um, if she's working a lot on Excel, which she's mentioned, Power BI is something that again she can adopt. Yeah, so some of these tools can actually help her.
Yeah, and I'd like to add that Divya, you can also check out our learning platform, which is Future Skills Prime, which is a joint venture between NASSCOM and Ministry of Information Technology, where we have courses on AI, basic courses on AI, which and we can. The good thing is that those courses are curated by the industry. So you're not learning something very, very theoretical. You're learning the concepts which industry wants you to learn. So I'll in fact request Divya, you as well as all the others to please check out the platform Future Skills Prime and take up the courses. We have free courses and sometimes the assessments can also be free. You can get in touch with me for that. And I'll take up the next question and then we'll go to our rapid fire because I would like to do that as well. There's a question from Shweta Rane. She has completed the AI engineer course but not able to secure a job. What roles should she apply for? And how she can transition from web development to AI ML?
Yeah, again the same ways, right? I mean, one, she can obviously do a few self-assessment courses, take, understand where she is in terms of AI. She can continue to apply for roles which are AI specific roles, and primarily figure out so as to how she's performing. It's actually, she has to go through multiple rounds of interview to kind of also see her, assess her practical proficiency levels. So she should just continue to do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll now move on to my rapid fire. I'll just go for the question and any one of you can answer. I'll not make it panelist specific. Uh, Question: one problem you wish AI could solve for?
Can I come?
Yes, please, sir.
See, we are living in a country with a lot of issues. So I always think how good it would be if using the AI and especially the computer vision analytics, okay, making use of the CCTV footages. If there is some issue, maybe the road is not good, some pit is there, you find any issue in the society, okay, I should be able to click the image, okay, and just dump it, okay, and the agent, it should be smart enough to find out what kind of issue is there, what kind of the department is there who can resolve this issue. It should be able to escalate. It should be able to get the issue resolved and come back to me. Yes, you gave this issue and it got resolved in 2 or 3 days. And I think the technology of today is quite robust and it has got the required competency and by stitching the various technological tools together, we can develop such kind of solutions. So this is my personal wish, and I'm sure we'll be able to develop such kind of ecosystem for the citizens.
Thank you so much, Manish ji. I'll just take one question and then the last rapid fire. The question is from Kunal Singh. The question is third year BCA student specializing in AI ML. What should I learn that will help me get a job?
Context engineering, prompt engineering, um, AI agentification. So, yeah.
Yeah, Kunal, you heard what is the wish list of the industry also. So learn those things And if you can deliver on those things, then you'll have your jobs ready for you. And my last question, which I'll quickly, we are almost on time. One book or course you recommend everyone is irrespective of domain. Tamsa, you already answered context engineering. I'll go to the others. Nirmala?
More than books, I know what I would say is podcasts. There are such interesting podcasts that are there that I think everybody should watch, not watch, hear at least, because it gives really good idea of what is happening. It's very current. There are many. You have from MIT, you have from Harvard, you have thought leaders who speak a lot in their interviews. So I think that is a really good way of actually gaining a lot of knowledge about what is changing in the industry, what you should keep up with, what kind of learning you should do. So I would say podcasts.
Thanks,
is-
Nirmala. I'll put a plug in here. We are coming up with the Tech Connect podcast. So
Okay.
keep your ears peeled
I
for
didn't
that
know
one.
that. I was not promoting that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Manishji, one book or course you recommend for everyone, irrespective of domain.
I just my audio is on right. I encountered one course, very good, exceptionally good. The name is BE10X. Maybe you can note down BE10X, and it has got some 20 modules, and they explain you each and everything conceptually. They are very good, and they give some kind of assurance. If you are working, maybe you can get that much increment, and if you are not employed, maybe you will get a job. But what I found, they are really hands-on, and it is a 4-hour session, Saturdays and Sunday, and they will help you in doing the things. They will not just they are not just theoretical, and they will explain. They will get the things done. And my one submission to everyone who is listening, that today the world, it is not like 20 years back when we have to really run for some good books and some good authors. Okay, now everything is available. Like ma'am said, good podcast. Maybe you can take help of chat gpt kind of platforms. Whatever are queries in your mind, you just ask and keep on asking, keep on asking, keep on asking. I'm sure you will get good results, and whatever gray areas are there, I think that you should be able to get them resolved.
Thank you so much. I think with that, we are almost on the dot, and we are. I hope the listeners had a good time. I am sure I learned a lot of things from Manish ji, Tamsa, and Nirmala. Thank you so much for your time. We will also be putting it out on YouTube, so I'll share the link with you also, and we getting some thanks from the audience as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Kamna. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.